Happening right now, protesters are starting fires and blocking several lanes on a highway in the Israeli city of Tel Aviv. You can see it right there. Tens of thousands in the streets demanding a ceasefire and hostage deal in Gaza. The bodies of 6 Israeli hostages, including one who had American citizenship, that were held by Hamas. They were recovered from a tunnel in southern Gaza this weekend. The 23-year-old Israeli American's name was Hirsch Goldberg Poland. Public outrage may further complicate negotiations for a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. Those negotiations have been going on feverishly for quite some time. Joining me now to discuss that is CNN international correspondent Paula Hancock. So, Paula, can you give us a sense of where these talks stand? Just yesterday, we heard President Biden say that negotiators were on the verge of a deal.
Well, Alex, it's interesting because we have been hearing in recent days and weeks some very optimistic sounds from the Biden administration in particular. We know that the working level talks had moved from Cairo to Doha. They were ongoing. And the Biden administration had suggested that they were working on the final details, the nuts and bolts of a particular deal. But we're certainly not hearing that optimism when it comes to other members of those negotiations. In fact, we have heard that there is some quite public disputes within Israel itself, within the cabinet, between the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, becoming ever more public after last Thursday at a cabinet meeting. The Prime Minister said that there should be an Israeli military presence on the border between Egypt and Gaza, according to reports presenting maps to that meeting to back up his desire and his change in conditions for this particular hostage ceasefire deal. Now, Gallant, we have learnt, has been very against that. He voted against it. There was another cabinet meeting just in recent hours where he slammed the government and the Prime Minister for putting forward these extra conditions, saying it is a moral disgrace. And he has been saying that if you try and push to have the military in the Philadelphia corridor, that area, Hamas will reject it, there will be no deal, and the hostages will not come home. So we are seeing, at a time of war, a very public argument between the Prime Minister and the Defense Minister when it comes to getting this deal through. And that is partly why you are seeing so much anger on the streets of Israel. Alex?
And then, Paula, separately, in the ongoing humanitarian and health crisis in Gaza, the UN now calling for temporary pauses in the fighting while aid workers try to treat hundreds of thousands of Palestinian children with a polio vaccine. How is that going?
Well, apparently that has held for Sunday, so there has been a temporary pause in the fighting in one part of Gaza. Now, this is an effort to vaccinate about 640,000 children. That's about 90% of the population of the children in Gaza under the age of 10. They are doing it in 3 stages: central Gaza, northern Gaza, southern Gaza, and they're hoping that it will last about 9 days in all, and they are hoping to be able to vaccinate that amount of children. Let's listen to what the UN said.
It's been an extremely complex vaccination campaign, probably one of the most difficult we've seen in the world. We have had ongoing bombardments. These have stopped this morning. It's quite quiet now. We're hopeful that this will last throughout the campaign. This is very critical because we simply cannot vaccinate children while they are running for their lives.
And that campaign lasting from today until the 12th of September. Alex?